Oh my gosh, I was actually about to say what a Kakashi got Naruto, but this is part 3 where Naruto had all those. Anyhow, so we left off with Sasuke beating Itachi and leaving to find Shisui. As Sasuke then found all of them, and they were all in a battle with Root and Danzo. Also, Danzo is alive here, even though he died in part 1. He used Izanagi to revive himself, if you were wondering. But then the Deva Path Universal pulled all of the Root Ninja, lifting them up into the air as the Asura Path sent a laser beam through all of them, making it a 4-on-1. Well, technically it would be more than 4-on-1 because of the passive pain, but yeah. Then they killed Danzo, like for real this time. And Naruto showed Hiruzen, telling him everything, leaving and taking Itachi, Shisui, Sasuke, and Hinata back with him. Hinata also visited Neji, but just to show him who's stronger, leaving him half dead on the Hyuga main branch floor. Also, this Hinata is a bit less shy, if you will, and she's also a bit more aggressive. You know? Yeah. Anyways, they then got back to the village hidden benevolence as everyone congratulated Naruto on his victory on, I guess you could say, the leaf, even though it wasn't a full-scale attack. Naruto then sent 100 clones to the hidden leaf to ask all Uchiha to join their village, telling them everything about Danzo as one of them held his head. Most of the Uchiha agreed, leaving except for the elders who had been in the village for about 60 years, so they're not gonna leave their homeland. Well, some of the elders still did because they despise Konoha a bit, and leaving without the leaf even noticing, until the next morning, and the Uchiha became the first clan within Naruto's village, and his plan was to get the rest of the clans of his dojutsu as well. Okay, so what I mean by that is that, so, say Byakugan, Hyuga, say Sharingan, Uchiha, say Kasurigan, Shinoeki clan, I believe it's called, like that, as well, and make the strongest of said clan, or the one most fit to rule their clan, as it would be a section for, followers. So what I mean by that is that, so, there will be, clan leaders, and it's not just gonna be, Fugaku wouldn't be the clan leader. It would probably be Shisui or Itachi. Could be Sasuke, actually, but yeah. And they would kind of be like a Kage over there, I guess you could say, section of the village with where their clan is. They would be like a Kage, but for final orders and stuff, Naruto would be in charge. If you get that. Anyway, Naruto had already made an area for the Uchiha, and the village started making a lot more money, which boosted the economy because of the Uchiha doing missions, which Naruto liked, because with enough missions, or with enough money, I guess you could say, he could start expanding his village. Also up there is some moving noise, if you can hear that in the background. Anyway, so, because he could expand his village. He then thought to himself, why not go after the clans now, this time creating 1,000 to ask every clan who has dojutsu, and surprisingly, the Hyuga agreed, telling them everything, and the economy of the village rose once again. So he then summoned a squad of his newly befriended Azumi, Itachi, Shisui, Sasuke, Hinata, Neji, and Tokuma, a Hyuga skilled in infiltration, joining. They then went towards the mist to get 2 ninja from the Shinoeki clan, Chino and Oyashiro. Sorry if I butchered that. I think I butchered the first part, the end part. I don't really know how to say that. Because they have the Katsuryagan. They were then retreated very reluctantly because they had a hatred towards the Uchiha clan, but they would be better off in the village in benevolence. And they hated the Uchiha clan because the Uchiha clan, massacred all of their brethren because they had a jutsu, not a jutsu, they had a dojutsu, which is actually stated to be more potent and have more potent genjutsu than the Sharingan. So the Uchiha didn't like that, and they're like, F this, man, let's kill them. And so they kind of invaded and killed them. Anyway, They also had their own sector, just a bit smaller than the others, because they needed to repopulate, so they didn't need much space at the moment. He then went to the Iberi clan to make them join. They agreed, and then he stopped finding clans and decided to start war to leave. What I mean by here is that the Iberi clan is pretty much a village under what we know as the the Land of Fire. It's like under the Land of Fire. It's like really weird, but they can turn into smoke, and they can use normal jutsu, but their Kakegenkai is like turning into smoke. So it's like really neat, and it's really good for them to have for like wars and stuff. And what I mean by fighting war with a leaf was that, so Naruto's planning. He's not actually like, he's not like actually going in there, but he's planning war with the leaf to make the other clans join their village. So that the leaf was finally able to find the village hidden in benevolence, but Naruto's guards said, "Who are you?" They said their names, saying they're from the leaf, and they then ran towards the opening of the village, but Naruto's guards quickly eliminated them, saying, "You are a threat to the village, so now you will pay," yelling Earth-style, Assimilation Rock Village, as they were almost all killed. He then called their Anbu, which was almost entirely made up out of the Iberi clan, which can make their bodies into smoke, as I said previously, and use other jutsu. They then took them to their prison, which was about 20 ninja strong, like, because they added to the 20 ninja, so, like, now it's 20 ninja. And Naruto then had a meeting to tell all the clan heads that they will be entering war with the village and in the leaves. And Naruto set out to the Hidden Leaf Village, and he found Hiruzen just walking around, and he said, "You sent ninja, Jonin in fact, to my village. How dare you? Are you trying to start war? No, not a war. This will be a one-sided battle that you will lose." Then a Jonin went behind Naruto's back, putting him into a headlock, as Naruto then said pitiful tricks, summoning his 6 paths of Rami, as the animal path summoned the dog summoning, and it ravaged the Jonin in the village, killing thousands, telling Hiruzen, "Don't start wars you can't finish," body flickering away. We now have Naruto gathering his army, and decided that he'll make the Nine Tails give him chakra, so that he can give the ninja fighting him, like, so that his army can pretty much have Nine Tails chakra, kind of. He'll just subdue him with either ask for it, and if he says no, then he'll just use MS or EMS to mind control him, if you will, to give him chakra, and then they can store this in this like jars that reserve it, and it can pretty much give his Anbu and ninja 3 tails, 2 tails, 1 tails, stuff like that. Anyways, he expresses this idea to the clans within the village, and they agree, saying that it's an excellent idea, and that they shall be going to war in a week's time. 3 days before the attack on the leaf, they are invaded by hundreds of Jonin and Chunin. Naruto, sensing them, immediately put up a defense by creating blood dragons with his Katsuryagon, and he created 10 shadow clones to use rotation with his Byakugan to stop enemies and to distract them, so that the Iberi clan can silently kill them. He then had the 6 paths of Rami protect the front entrance, and with his Sharingan, he created clones that would sit in the trees and genjutsu enemy invaders from the leaf, so that they would kind of like fight against each other. And they also had enough military power left to push the Hidden Sands land. So what I mean by this is the land that Hashirama gave them, because they already had a tailed beast, but Hashirama gave them fertile land, because you can't really plant on sand that much, so they needed land, and that's what Hashirama gave them. So so Naruto's taking that land from them, because it's very fertile, and it can give his village a lot more food. They are not in a crisis of food. They have like a lot of food, but because he knows that they're expecting a population rise, he wants some more crops and stuff like that. The ninja who were sent to take land from the Sand Village had taken it and immediately started construction on attaching it to the village hidden in Benevolence. They had also garnered the attention of the Kazekage clan. Rasa had decided to head to the village hidden in Benevolence, but was approached by Naruto as he was approaching the village. Naruto then said, "If you don't leave the village, then you will be killed." Rasa then replied, "By a mere genin," laughing. saying that's a joke. Naruto then created a clone using the animal path's ability, creating a rhino that Rasa was barely able to beat. He then said, I'm no Genin, I'm the Kage of this village, using the Deva Pap's ability to Bancho Tenin Rasa towards himself, pulling out a chakra rod, as he then said, now, die, as he stabbed it through Rasa's stomach, as Rasa then fell to the ground from being impaled with Naruto's chakra rod and disrupting his chakra network, as Naruto then said, if I will only spare you if you make a truce with my village, and we become allies. Rasa then agreed, heading back to his village half dead. And, I'm not as sick anymore. I'm not coughing up blood anymore. That's his normal cough and stuff, I guess you could say. So, I should be okay. And if you enjoyed this part, then please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, this part is going to have a like goal of 20 likes. This is part 3 of What If Naruto had all dojutsu. And even if you secure it, I'm not going to upload it immediately. It's the day after. It secures you the part. Anyways, Rami X, out.